to that I would think is no. The ultimate marketing, if you take the most powerful thing in marketing, the two most powerful things in marketing are, number one, a better idea, something better. That's the most important thing, by far. I mean, if you're thinking you want to make a lot of money, and I gather everybody here does, I've given up, then you've got to spend your time thinking, you know, can I think of a better way of doing something that I'm familiar with or unfamiliar with? That's really what Amazon is about. You know, before you can consider that Amazon are extraordinarily good at all sorts of things like evaluating the long-term value of a customer and so on, you have to say the guy had an idea. The guy had an idea. Then once you've had an idea, your second greatest weapon is, have you, what Gary Halbert referred to, you all know the Gary Halbert story, I assume, the starving crowd. Where can I find the people who want the stuff that I'm trying to flog? You know? And I think that in some ways, the most powerful weapon after that has to be understanding people. And I'm sure you know the story about the New York bank robber who kept on, Willie Sutton, who kept on. Nobody knows whether this is true, but I don't care. But have you all heard the Willie Sutton story? Oh, well, apparently this guy, Willie Sutton, used to keep on robbing banks in the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, and he was a very, very inefficient and incompetent, like me running a business basically. He was just not very good at it. Yeah? So he kept on being caught, and eventually a New York detective said to him, Willie, why do you keep robbing banks? And Willie said, because that's where the money is. So I would imagine the third most valuable thing is understanding the people who are going to give you the money. But really, there is an implication behind the question, which is direct response, or as the most powerful form of marketing, which is half true, because the other half of it is not just the response, it's going out to the people, you know, so it's direct marketing. The only reason that the book that I wrote, which has bored people for so long, one reason it did well was because I started writing it because I couldn't find anybody who could explain to me what direct marketing was. And the closest thing I could get was a 2-page diagram of the New York subway. Well, I thought that was what it was. But it's actually this is explaining what direct marketing is. And I said, do you mean to say that I have to look at this thing to understand what I'm doing? You know? The first good definition of advertising was in 1904 by John E. Kennedy, who said that advertising is salesmanship in print. So I thought there must be a simple way of defining it, you know? And so I tried to write a definition, which I won't bore you with, but it was very short. You know, any activity whereby you reach your customer directly or a customer responds to you directly. It's a two-way thing, you know. I mean, this sort of thing is squirting stuff out, or alternatively hoping stuff will come in. They're linked. I think, yes, that is a very, very important thing. And the reason it's an important thing is because you don't guess, you know. You know to a penny what's working and what isn't working. You can measure everything. The great thing about the technology initiated largely by Google is that Google is forcing people who are not completely stupid, which unfortunately applies to about 90% of corporate marketers, but that's another subject. It's forcing people to do the right thing. They're saying, you are not going to get good results from Google, you schmuck, yeah, unless you measure and improve and measure and improve and measure and improve.